Hey everyone, my name is Selena Cordoba L. I almost fell coming back into the damn seat. Let me tell y'all something. Today is Martin Luther King Day, and I'm grateful because I thought it was a work day. I busted my ass all day on Saturday and Sunday, only to find out this morning that it's day off, national holiday. It made me kind of happy because I was like, thank God I didn't take Saturday and Sunday off. When you have commitments and you want to stay ahead of your responsibilities, you don't sometimes like rest or take a day off. And I think the last couple weeks I've really started to sense like you've got to figure out how to create some balance in your life, because if you don't, no one else is going to help you figure these things out, and you're going to exhaust yourself. And for what, Selena? You're going to exhaust yourself with all of these orders. And yeah, 1 to 3 days, but people will wait 3 to 5 days for this stuff. Stop running yourself dry. Stop leaving working out to the end of the day. Stop saying, oh, let me just do a half an hour of yoga instead of 90 minutes. And that's what I committed to like 3 months ago. I stopped skipping small things that were really a big part of my life back in the day, but the last like 5 years, work has picked up so much. I'm very grateful. I realize I've been putting like juicing till after I work out, or blending a smoothie after, because again, when you have a child, your priority is to make sure that they're fed, that their belly is filled with some oatmeal and some goodness, but you got to do that for yourself too. So I've been taking pretty good care of myself diet-wise, but rest-wise, no. I get maybe 4 hours sleep a day, and anyone that has kids that's breastfed for like 24 months straight, y'all know we don't really sleep more than 4 hours, 4 hours. I have never slept the same since I've had Amor. My sleep schedule has never returned to the same. So instead of being annoyed with all of that, I just try to use it towards my benefit and go, look, you ain't sleeping. You might as well get up and work out. So I started working out like at 1 to 3 in the morning. Little weird things, but then again, that gives you an extra boost of energy. So then you're working till the sun comes up. And for myself, I really, the last year, I've committed to saying, yeah, 1 to 3 days shipping, but people will wait 3 to 5. You don't have to, you're working for yourself now. You don't have to beat a time clock. You don't have to, but you do. Because again, if you don't set a certain pace for yourself, you'll never see how much you can accomplish. You'll never see how much you can do. And I think the last 2-3 years, I just really pushed myself to not be overwhelmed by 87 orders in a day, or, you know, on my 87 orders and each person got like 3 items. That rush and discovery took place for me about 2 years ago. And, you know, I was not sleeping the way that I should have, sleeping 4 hours a night, and just like trying to figure out how to balance the influx of energy. Now that I figured out how to do that, I really just expressed to myself, you've got to take some time to sleep, more than 4 hours a night, more than 6 hours a day, you know, stuff like that. So things have been getting a little bit better. But when you're used to just doing stuff on your own, you set your own schedule and your own pace, and you want to keep it up so that you don't fall behind. For instance, like if I took off Saturday and Sunday, the orders from Saturday and Sunday, which are right here, would have doubled up today, Monday. So this morning, when I woke up and went downstairs to go and, you know, make sure I didn't miss the delivery guy, my doorman, he's like, Selena, it's a holiday. Go back upstairs and sleep. Thank God, because I want to do more like this, but again, when you're working, and you're used to just throwing stuff in your envelopes and getting things out, you're not connecting with people as much. And I want to start connecting with more, doing lives and being able to read what you guys are asking. Just present and figure out different ways to, you know, diversify the energy now. So up here, these are all the washes and stuff and the breakable items, because I have stuff like cherry. The cherry is a the calendula infused cherry oil. And anyone that has used it, you know that it smells like cherry, but it doesn't have any fragrance in it. and you'll ask yourself, damn, how did she get the consistency? It's a really rich color. It's darker than all of our other face oils, and it's excellent. It's so great for people with aging skin and for people that want to start stimulating eyelash growth and eyebrow growth, things like that. All of these, I think I'm going to put this in this thing right here just so it doesn't, but let me see if I can put it down. All of these are the butters. So this is Revive. I'm going to go through them real quick. Revive, and why? This is the hard part for me, because I think once I got used to just doing something 1 or 2 times, I figured, you know, move on to the next goal, move on to learning something new, doing something different. So I very rarely will find myself dressed in the same outfit, talking about the same, like, girl, you gotta stop that. You gotta figure out a way to talk about what you're passionate about every day, every minute of your life. It's just, for me, there's other things that I really am passionate about, so I never want to just fall into doing, you know, talking about one aspect of the hand. It's like just paying attention to your thumb when you got 4 other digits. So for myself, I got to do that, and this is something I've committed to. So again, once I found out it was a holiday, come upstairs, do 90 minutes of yoga. I'm grateful because the last 3 months I haven't been skirting. I used to, you know, 30 minutes instead of 90 because I got to do orders. Forget juicing because it takes long. I got to do orders. I'll make dinner at 6 o'clock at night and not at 3 because I got to do orders. So, you know, now the last year I've decided, look, even if people are waiting 3 to 5 days, take care of yourself. Make sure you're juicing every day. It's like the time that I didn't have the financial security to just be consistent, I was. And now that I can be consistent with certain things for myself, my personal well-being, I'm putting it off to take care of products. Well, first of all, that is what you do when you want to create a consistency and you're figuring out your own pace and figuring out how to get stuff out. But now that I've done that and I don't really get overwhelmed with the amount of orders, now it's time for me to figure out how to take baths, how to enjoy my bathtub, how to, you know, not check emails when I'm taking my son in swimming class, like to sit down and watch him for 35, you know, for 40 minutes instead of taking the whole hour to work. And I don't know if a lot of people find themselves experiencing that, but, you know, when you experience certain things that make you so diligent and so consistent, you gotta sometimes break those things up to have a little fun, to remind yourself to, hey, take a bath before you go to bed. Little things, not a shower, but a bath. Okay, so I'm gonna go through these real quick because I miss a lot of them. And so many people have asked great questions, and I have about 80 testimonials that I'd love to share, but sometimes I think about people's privacy, and maybe not everybody wants to have their name out there, and perhaps it's too much, but I'd rather be more aware and just not step over people's invisible boundaries than me just be about, you know, always sharing. It's like, let the products speak for themselves. You know, you take a step back, you allow people to circulate them and to share them with friends and family, and let that speak, you know, instead of always needing somebody to market for you. Okay, Revive. Revive is amazing. It is a green tea matcha. It really is a black cumin seed infused body butter. It's great for people with dry skin, psoriasis, a lot of broken elbows, knees, irregular color in your knees. Very, very, very good. It's infused with a lot of peppermint. It's got a little bit of other essential oils in it, which round it out. It's not just peppermint. Lang Lang is in here. You've got a lot of amazing ingredients, over 14 carrier butters and about 8 carrier oils, as well as 4 essential oils are in Revive. And Revive has been out for about 9 years now, 8-9 years. It's one of the first 7 butters that I came out with. Revive, excellent. So that's Revive. Then you have Pisces. Pisces is great because it has a little light pink color. That's really from the cataphragm and the clary sage, along with just the mandarin and it's amazing. Again, 11 carrier butters, 9 carrier oils, and 5 essential oils are in this. but it's really great for people, like I expressed the other day. Each sign definitely has its own special, unique quality, but all of the astrological butters can be used by any sign at any time during the year. I just wanted to think of ways to invite or like make it kind of more palpable for people that might not really be into metaphysics or might not believe that like there is a herb that dictates Scorpio, there is a herb that is assigned to Pisces, you know, assigned to every zodiac sign. And you start to say, well, why and how, and does this have any meaning behind it? And when you do the research and you take some time to just experiment, you start to realize that there is definitely a science behind every herb, every carrier oil, every assigned essential oil to your sign. It's amazing to start getting into it, but you know, I don't expect people to really have time or to believe in all of that. Sometimes you fall into believing in things just based on certain laws or based on certain just things happening over that you're like, this can't be coincidental anymore. Why do I always meet people after somebody passes away in their life? Like literally the next week. Oh, I lost my mom last week. I lost my dad. You know, you start asking yourself these things and it leads you on a journey to not take things personal and to not be closed off to anything. So again, Pisces, a really, really amazing body butter. It's great for just hydration, moisturization, but it really is like a calmer. It will chill you out a little bit and it'll allow no headaches like to take place. Pisces are great with in tuning and being just very empathic and sympathetic, but you also don't want, you know, like to take it too far and to feel as though energetic and environmental problems are something that you really always have to be affected by. So Pisces is great. Victory Rose, really, really dope. Victory Rose is the heaviest calendula infused body butter. I mean, I will spend so much on just the organic and the qualities of butters and oils that go into things. And then to infuse them takes, it's a journey that took some time, but again, once you're doing something for like 8 to 10 years, you start to find, I mean, really 2 years, but I've been doing it for like 8 years now. And I've just gotten into such an amazing routine that thank God I don't have to refer to the recipes. I know what's in each one. And sometimes I think maybe that's why, you know, God has had me just not with a lot of distractions or in a factory or in a storefront. Perhaps my focus would have been a little different, or maintaining the visuals of the store or the product lineup, and I might not have had as much creative energy to think of stuff outside the box, to think of how to create my own distillery machine, to think of how to infuse stuff with real fruit essence without allowing any of the fruit to change the storage or change the life expectancy of the product. So Victory Rose is great for babies, for kids, and for just people with dry skin. Like, you have a base amount of butters that you can use, and because I don't use shea butter in anything, it just really motivated and inspired me to feel and to think about what different combinations without shea butter could yield results. So horsetail butter, avocado, macadamia, argan butter, calendula butter, again, rose butter, Hungarian rose butter, how to infuse Hungarian rose in your products where you don't lose, you know, a little vial like this can be, you know, $400. So I don't want to lose any of that on any plastic. So when I blend stuff, why it has to be blended in glass, but then I transfer everything into plastic because we need stuff that isn't going to fall and break on us. At least I know my family does. And it's just something that you remain humble with. They're all recycled plastic, which really means a lot to me. But again, to just make a choice and say, you know, I want people to have duration, long-term results, not, oh, I'm thinking my baby and I knock it off of my elbow, and now all of my butter is on the floor, because this has happened to me, and trying to be on some glass everything upgrade. Nah, the upgrade is in the consistency. The upgrade is in never going out of sale on any product that sells very well. And again, always offering free stuff in everyone's package, in everyone's order. I used to, about 5 years ago, be able to write, I still write everybody personally a personal email with their tracking number. But after that, it created a dialogue where sometimes people would receive the email and then of course write back, and we started to just banter and have great conversation. But the more that people started ordering, the less I was able to give people one-on-one time like that via email or via their questions. So how do I not make someone feel as though I'm not dropping the ball or I'm not neglecting them, but I still am producing and creating something in lieu of me not necessarily being able to be on the phone or be physically present. So Victory Rose is great. Victory Rose, the Pineapple Turmeric Alchemy, also another amazing product, because after using a lot of turmeric products, I didn't want anything grainy. None of the products that I work with are grainy or have any type of like exfoliant energy in it. When you exfoliate, you want to have a day where you just exfoliate, but you don't want that day to be on the day that you were like shaving or have any other issues, because it could really, it's not great to constantly strip the surface level of your dermis when based on just proper loofah, proper skin brushing. All of that will take place on its own. So again, I just try to remind people that if your skin brushing, lymphatic skin brushing, is so slept on, and sometimes we just skip days in doing it, but it will help constipation, skin irregularities, pimples, little boils, little breakouts, rashes. It literally it's like a snake. You're like brushing your, same way you brush your hair, brush your skin in upward strokes. It does miraculous things for you. So the Pineapple Turmeric Alchemy is made with a really nice aloe base. I don't really like opening my products once they're bottled and done, because I feel like that's just a sacred little energy and I don't have my gloves on and stuff. So, okay, the Pineapple Turmeric, really great, really infused with a lot of pineapple essence, turmeric root as well as the flower. And that's what a lot of people sometimes skip. The root, or like the peel of certain botanicals in nature, really holds so much of the healing properties. So just wanted to stay true to that. The Maca Maca, really, really great. So this is great for people with hyperpigmentation, with little skin breakouts, with pimples, with irregularity. Great for balancing, for creating an even skin tone, stuff like that. Maca Maca, really dope, infused with a lot of maca root, a lot of maca powder, along with 11 carrier butters, no shea, as well as carrier oils, no shea butter. I'm very proud of that. Because again, a lot of us have nut allergies, and most people that have nut allergies actually can use almond butter on their skin, as well as like macadamia. It's just ingesting it might have a different result. So you want to play around if you do find yourself with a nut allergy. Really do a small product test just on the base of your legs, like towards your ankles. Sleep on it overnight and see how you feel. You might surprise yourself. So that's Maca Maca. The berry along with the strawberry. This is the berry blueberry, the berry strawberry. What's great about these products, a lot of black currant butter, a lot of bilberry butter. Really great, high in antioxidants and antiphenocins. I never know how to say that word, but basically stuff that's chock full of all of like the things that color food, whether it color cranberries, goji berries, blueberries, raspberries. The energy that makes fruit that purple, red, rich color has a lot of it in it, and that's great for, again, brightening your skin without using chemical agents. So a lot of us are using like fading creams and butters, but in the future you don't want to have that, because it'll destroy your body's ability to like process UVA, and you just increase yourself for a lot of cancerous stuff. And why would you want to, you know what I'm saying, just to be lighter? Like, come on, for real. So if you want to brighten, like lighten your skin and brighten it naturally without stripping and destroying your melatonin and your melanin and the melasomes and the melocrites. That's the melatonin. No, boo, that's what you need when you're sleeping. But all that works with the pituitary and the hypothalamus and the thyroid. So yeah, you want to make sure that you're giving yourself a little bit of the best. That's excellent. Again, no strawberry perfume, no blueberry perfume, and it smells straight like strawberry and blueberry. Those were the longest for me to figure out how to do the peachade, the blueberry and strawberry, because I want to eliminate the fragrance, the perfume, but I do want to create and expand the line for those of us that love a little fruit essence. The easiest one for me to have discovered and figured out how to make was the lemonade. Because the lemonade was simple. I just, the lemon peel was really easy to infuse because it's so pungent and strong. Lemon is so easy. The lemon peel, the lime, but again, using not just lemon, but lime as well. You know, lemongrass can be a little like acidic, and it can get like sour smelling if you don't know how to infuse it properly. So just wanted to make something, the lemonade, which is so another long-term favorite, 8 to 9 years now. That's Coffee Bomb, Revive. All of them can be purchased in the 7 Heavenly Sins kit. But even if not, the website is there to allow people to come back and say, hey, I want to try this next. It's not necessarily to make it like you have to get this one thing to heal that. Everything in the entire Cordoba Organics line will heal. Psoriasis, dermatitis, dry skin, eczema, rosacea. When you're working with herbs and you're working with butters that don't block your pores or don't stop the natural cycle of your cells replenishing, you will find so many, like, you'll be like, yo, why wasn't I sometimes wish I was using my products when I first grew my hair, because they wouldn't have been as thick. I might have been able to manage them a different way. But again, everything in hindsight, and this is for those that are growing their hair. Scorpio. Scorpio's dope because it got a lot of saffron, a lot of sandalwood. Dragon's blood is in here. 4 different essential oils, 8 different carrier butters, 6 different carrier oils. Amazing. Very, very good to kind of increase libido, stimulate circulation around, you know, like varicose veins, any type of joints. I'm really into increasing circulation. So Vetiver Bay, the physical therapy, the Revive, the Acai Cinnabon, anything with a little heat, any type of heat, so good for especially wintertime for your joints. As you get a little older, your back starts to get a little crepitous in the morning. You're gonna want to just take something and rub a nice little, but not smell like tiger, you know, like real strong eucalyptus all day. And the ether's also there, so good. I use the ether everywhere on my body. It's the same thing with the halt. I sometimes just use halt when I wake up in the morning if I'm going out, just because it's so crisp and bright. But it is a mosquito repellent. Why are you using it in the morning? Well, when I go my little yoga on the beach or right downstairs and it rains, I don't want to get bit, but I don't, you know, after the first 20 minutes, I take off my sweatshirt. I don't want to be bit up. So very, very good. But Scorpio is excellent, along with Capricorn. Capricorn is heavy with vetiver, bergamot, frankincense is in here, 8 different carrier butters, no shea. Very good for people with tension in their shoulders. A lot of people sleep on just the stuff that can help alleviate, other than like Advil and Tylenol. And yeah, you have arnica gel, you have a lot of different little things, or arnica flour that I've made into a gel, but a lot of different things that can help alleviate. And I think just, you know, in having arthritis and open knee surgery and foot surgery, all of these things, I wanted to think of ways to really incorporate them into my daily, like, well-being, instead of just using it when I felt injured. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes I'll only take Buckley's when I feel a cough coming on, but drink a little shot of that every week and see how you feel as preventative. So Capricorn is excellent, very good for people, shoulders, upper body, respiratory. So thinking of all the essential oils, all of the herbs that aid with that. And I'm not naming all the herbs and everything because that's a whole nother talk. And I thought about it, you know, I definitely want share more of the magical properties and herbs, but I also want to connect with people and not lose people and have them be like, oh, that's so zany and out of let. So, you know, a combination of two. Throw in a little bit as you're talking about stuff. This is the Bilberry Blackberry balm. Again, really great because of the cranberry, the pomegranate, the elderberry. I tried thinking of just creating a big vat of all the major superfoods and then using certain infusions for certain products. So this is one of those products. It's got a darker, like purplish, not purple, like pinkish color, more towards eggplant purple, but again, from the bilberry and the blackberry and the cranberry, so good, but really great for people with, I hate to say it, people that might even have a little bit of extra testosterone. I rub all of this on my neck. I don't know why I feel like it's just been really smooth and amazing and it's just so calming, but it's the elderberry and it's the juniper berry and the cranberry. All of those major vitamin C's, just like in drinking, feel so good on your skin and on your body. The Aries hibiscus, a lot of hibiscus. We have the hibiscus hair oil, but we also have Aries, which has got a nice amount of hibiscus in it as well. 14 different carrier butters in this one. I did a lot of carrier butters in the astrology ones, just because I wanted to see how it felt. And like if anyone has tried the blueberry and the strawberry, totally different consistency than a lot of the other butters, as well as the peachade, totally different. I don't know if it's because there's actual fruit essence in it that I figured, you know, distilled in it, but it's like the silkiness and the texture is, and I thought all of my other butters were 100%. Nah, this has got like a deepness in it that I can't really describe unless you try, but it is brilliant. Face, amazing. Like Victory Rose, where is it at? Like Victory Rose, but with no essential oil. This doesn't have Hungarian rose. It doesn't have little drops of geranium. It doesn't have rose oil. It's really just all of the major superfood butters without any essential oils. So it's great for babies, great for people with really sensitive skin, with maybe skin and what you call those things when you have ingrown hairs. Ingrown hairs around your bikini line, great for ingrown hairs, along with the Tepes Cohuite and the gel wash. The Tepes Cohuite, do a little research on that herb. It is amazing for skin clearness and skin clarity, and a lot of people don't put it in their products because it's difficult, I'm sure, to infuse and to, you know, put in there without giving it that smoking rank feel. So that's the pineapple. Okay, so we have coffee bomb and pit stops. I talked about pit stops the other day, but really, it's amazing because of the manoi in it, the arrowroot, the baking soda, the 8 different carrier butters, the 6 different essential oils, and you need a combination. Sometimes, you know, I'll look at products and one essential oil is nice, but once you start playing around and you smell the difference between adding like a little bit of mandarin along with the lime, along with the lemon, yeah, it takes longer, but the result is something that can't be duplicated, and it's so amazing. This is a thicker consistency, but again, nothing grainy, so that when you're rubbing in here, it literally is like, first of all, I can't believe I'm rubbing lotion into my arm that's gonna stick and stay, and it does. And then it doesn't stain your clothes. It smells so good. You don't end up stinking during the day, and you don't have like that burning sensation from stuff having too much magnesium, too much baking soda, not the right, you know, all of that. Let me make it myself and see if I could find the consistency that works. So coffee bomb, excellent. Coffee bomb's cousin is Virgo. Virgo, excellent. Cardamom is in Virgo. Coffee, no cardamom. Virgo, a little bit of lime along with the Ethiopian coffee. Coffee bomb, no lime. Straight, no chaser, the best, smoothest. Again, being aware not to use those daily topical exfoliants that are going to end up stripping and ripping the surface and the dermis of our skin. So we want to be aware of that. Okay, that's another revive. So we have musical hairs and tiger stripes. Tiger Stripes, kind of like Coffee Bomb. It's like the cousin, but not really, because Tiger Stripes, it's got a totally different essential oil base, and Coffee Bomb doesn't have any essential oils in it. The Ethiopian coffee is what gives it the pungent smell, but this is actually scented with stuff that you gotta find out once you buy it. But Tiger Stripes, so dope, and it's all the stuff is on the website. But it's really great because I wanted to just freak it and expand, and especially for people. I had a visitor a little while ago, and she's like, yeah, but do you have anything specifically for stretch marks that says, so I'm like, oh yeah, Coffee Bomb. She's like, yeah, but that doesn't say, and I thought about it, and I was like, okay, that's inspiring to just make a product that specifically when people see the name, they think stretch marks. That's how Tiger Balm came to fruition. Me realizing I could do probably a little more and create just a specific product just for people's stretch marks. Now, not only should they be celebrated, but, you know, and well, you don't have any, Selena. You don't have, yeah, but I have scars. I have keloids. I have spider bites. It's like, maybe God didn't allow me to have stretch marks across my midriff because I had enough or paid certain dues in certain ways. Sometimes I think like that. And also, you know, just because I don't have stretch marks doesn't mean, you know, like I'm some superhuman. It just means that part of my body I was using the proper products and really drinking a gallon of water a day. A lot of people talk about, you know, stuff they use on their bodies when they're pregnant, but the secret for me was really having a gallon of water by my bed, and when I woke up, opening it and drinking the entire gallon every day. That was very hard on top of having a belly and having to go to the bathroom every 10 minutes, but it literally got so real that I bought myself a bedpan, put it by my bed, and made sure I kept my water intake up so that I wouldn't be straining my kidneys and so that I wouldn't have developmental issues along with my pregnancy. That, along with rubbing, there was times that I felt like I literally was gonna pop because I was so filled with water and baby, but I didn't get stretch marks. And that's to say, everybody told me that I would. And again, a lot of it comes from you just enjoying your time and being pregnant and being still. I didn't work out at all during my pregnancy. I didn't work out after my pregnancy until Amor was 2 years old. So again, just really using the time to breastfeed, to be still, to listen to what the doctor expressed I should experience was, you can't teach yoga, don't work out, don't do anything but sit, drink, and eat. And that's literally what I did. And if you have a cerclage, you already know you gotta take certain care because you're not able to have sex or enjoy any type of sex for 9 to 12 months. And you just gotta be humble with it. So Tiger Stripes, I wish I had this then because it would have really calmed me down. It's an amazing product. It's got like 13 different, no, I used that bag's got 9 different herbs, 13 carrier butters and oils in this. Excellent. Cardamom, coffee, helichrysum, hawthorn. It's brilliant. Musical hairs. Musical hairs is really dope. Oh, look at these. Let me get these out. These are the different sizes of Coffee Bomb. Same thing. I just try to throw in different amounts of sizes in here so y'all can see. 2, 4, 8, 12, 16. I think we should have the option of getting them in whatever size we want. Sagittarius and Pisces. Oh, we did Pisces. Sagittarius is dope. Really great. The hawthorn in here is incredible. Anybody that's gotten the Sagittarius body wash already knows. Let me fly through. I'm not gonna look at the time and act like I'm running out of nothing. You take your time, Selena. Aquarius, really dope. We're coming up on Aquarius in a couple of days. So good to keep things moving, and to keep things light. And the herbs in here, there's over 6 herbs, 8 carrier butters and oils, no shea butter. Amazing, amazing, amazing for grounding, for creativity, for all of that good stuff. And for eczema, for dryness, for moisturization. Try to think of that as well in terms of the seasons. Aquarius, wintertime, cold. Not for everyone that's not up north, but I do still think about up north so much, having been raised in Brooklyn for 30 plus years. Hair magic. Okay, we did hair, musical hairs. Hair magic, great. Doesn't have as much palm as the musical hairs, but the herbs in here is incredible, as well as the healing, let me tell you, when you put nettle and thyme and different stuff, this one has more minty medicinal, this one does not. More fruity, mandarin, orange tones. And mandarin is totally different than orange essential oil, which is why I try to use the right terminology. Same thing with tangerine. Tangerine essential oil, totally different, right? I keep trying to pull this down. Maybe I should just let it rise up instead of me looking crazy like I'm trying to hide something. Okay, the musical hairs, a little bit, like when I talk about something that melts into the palm of your hand and melts on your hair, musical hairs does it. It's great for curl rejuvenation, styling. All of my hair products are styling creams and pomades. Like, you can use them as conditioners, leave-in conditioners, styling cream. However you want to use it is how you use it. I sometimes slather this in Amor's hair before he goes into the pool, just so his ends don't break and he doesn't have a whole dry, brittle head after he gets out. But again, I didn't advertise this as a leave-in conditioner. It's technically a styling and growth pomade, but I use this as like a conditioner for Amor's hair. So good. Okay, the lemonade, we talked about the lemonade. Oh, and the peachade. The lemon and the peach. The peach is so dope because it's got a lot of comfrey. It's got a lot of angelica root in it. And again, trying to think of ways to pick certain herbs that aren't going to necessarily mess up men, mess up our boys that might be going through different puberty than our girls, not create over estrogen and not create too much testosterone. So stuff that's great, but also that's not going to throw our liver off and our kidney production off. So peach aid, really, really dope. If you want to get into the benefits of angelica and comfrey root, really nice, amazing. Comfrey root back in the day was used to ward off just unwanted energy and to keep your energy lifted and your spirits bright. Excellent. The lemonade, again, 8 different carrier, like the butters in here, the avocado, the horsetail, the lemon butter. I make lime butter, everything. And again, when you make everything, you don't have to worry about running out because you're not outsourcing, you know, ready-made products. No disrespect to anybody that found success. I just really am a stickler for ingredients. And, you know, reading ingredients before I started my company, I noticed that there were so many. The first 2 ingredients is water, aqua, water. I don't want water in any of my products, and that's what you feel the difference of with Cordoba organic stuff. There isn't any water in anything. Not in the makeup remover, not in the body sanitizer. What's different about them? This is the Shungite. Yes, Shungite is soaked in here for like 13 and 16 hours. I only take it out at nighttime because you don't need to leave Shungite in at night. But the Shungite, so good. It's got a nice carrier oil. Argan is in here as long as jojoba, so that when you're using the aloe, all of this that you see that cloudy and those little specks are the lavender, that cloudy, that's the aloe pulp that I'm talking about shucking and thinging and being different than what you buy in like the grocery store. It just is. It has a much gelatinous texture. And again, I love like stuff like iris moss and linseed. So I've played around with this with flax and it thickened it. When you freak certain stuff with aloe, it'll thicken it. And that's actually how I was able to really stand behind my makeup remover products, as well as just like all my aloe based stuff, because it's got real aloe in it and it doesn't spoil if you know what essential oils and what temperature to kind of bind everything in. So you want to do that. The Patoro, just as good as the Patoro is dope. It's just got cinnamon oil, some neem is in here to ward off germs. Tea tree is in here, so it's a little bit harsher. It's, you know, more stripping. Nothing stripping for your face ever. Okay, the Virgo Wash. Virgo, along with the Virgo Butter. This is a set that's sold on the site, as well as I got the Capricorn set. That's what I'm doing this year. All the individual horoscope jump-offs are now together, like being married together, to create little gift sets and things that people might want to create more ease and just to allow the shopper experience to be, okay, I just want all of Virgo. Let me just click on Virgo and I can get all everything in that one fell swoop. So the Virgo Body Wash, again, all of my washes are gel-based, organic, jojoba, rosemary extract. Why? I love Castile soap, but it was too stripping, too harsh, too not loving to my skin after like 3 or 5 days. So I wanted to create an entire line, and I think once I discovered how to make everything, I talked to you about that Irish malt, how to make everything more thick, I was off and running. It was like nobody could tell me anything. Because that's really was my problem. You want a gel-based wash, but you want it to be thick. And a lot of these, you don't want them to thin when you apply the herbs and your essential oils. You don't want it to change the thickness. So I'm grateful I learned how to make my own, wash and shampoo, because I was able to get it to the thickness that I wanted. The Leo's really amazing. Yes, I'm so glad I found a Libra. The Leo is really amazing along with the Libra because of the healing herbs in it, but the one is made with sandalwood, saffron, all that other good stuff. The other is made with like frankincense, bergamot, and they're amazing. I kind of couple them together because they have similar colors, but the Libra is a little bit lighter in color because of how I make it, and the Leo is a little darker based on the saffron and the sandalwood being soaked in there. It brightens up the calendula when the calendula meets it. It's like it makes a beautiful tangerine color. Okay, so we have the Foy. Foy, I told you, is Fountain of Youth. And again, like Foy along with Dew. I don't have a Dew here right now. I think I expressed Dew. Anyway, use what you have. Taurus Wash, Foy. The Foy is great because I wanted to have a rose, calendula, chamomile face oil that was really great for calming and for closing your pores and for creating a little lipid barrier, all that good stuff. But I didn't want all the debris of the dried roses that I noticed in other companies' products. And this is like before. Amor was born in 2008, so this is like 2007, 2006. I never found any company that had the exact infusion that I wanted. So as soon as I was able to, I said, so Fountain of Youth, the reason Fountain of Youth, F-O-Y, I thought that was so long a title, but now, I'm starting to have more faith in things like that. Like, look, if you want to call your wash Tepesco Huite because you want to introduce people to the actual root and not take credit for the results it's going to give you, put that long ass title. But you learn about marketing and what people are triggered to remember and what people like, and what you like isn't necessarily what other people might like. So I try to think of that and take myself out of everything and think of what can speak to the masses, but also in speaking to the masses, not leave the special parts that might make me a little avant-garde or a little weird, not leave those parts out of what makes me me. So Foy, excellent. The argan oil, again, I wanted something that was like 100% argan oil, but argan is really expensive, and I felt like people were overcharging for it. Like if I can buy a plain argan oil about this much for $80, then there's got to be a way that I can, here it goes. I think because I have a pure set one here. Hold on a second. See this? I don't bottle my stuff. This is my argan oil. This little thing right here, $65. Now, the amount of argan oil that's in here, 90%. So most people I've noticed, they use soybean, they use, soy oil or olive oil. Horrible on your actual face and skin, but it's a cheaper carrier oil. And I started thinking there's got to be a way that I can invest and make really expensive products for prices that are affordable. We will invest. People will invest in their skin. I'm very grateful that I know the people that buy and support Cordoba Organics care about the ingredients on the side of their bottle. They care about their Foy having at least 90% argan oil and not just a whole bunch of carrier oils that are going to break them out. We care about the quality of the oils and what they're made with and how they're matched. And once I started really knowing that I wasn't going to turn people off with all of the, again, Dr. Bronner's is who inspired me to write all those details about what's in our products, because I'm sitting there on the toilet reading all of that. I'm reading, you know, the New Testament. I'm reading everything on the side of the Dr. Bronner's bottle. So that, you know, and I used to use that in high school, the almonds and the peppermint. This is when I was like 15, 16. And I didn't know to dilute that. My vagina, you know, things would be on fire. But I liked the way that it felt better than bar soap. And this is like in 1991, 92, because I graduated high school in 95. So again, just to invest in your own ideas, because from then my mother would be like, Selena, where's the so-and-so? Why you took? Because I love figuring out ways to stretch and make the best of something. So again, Foy, thank you guys for caring about argan oil and about Hungarian rose oil and the type of vitamin E and not being a watered down vitamin E with grapeseed oil. That's great, but a lot of companies that water their vitamin E with grapeseed oil will also use a carrier fragrance. And you don't want a fragrance along in your vitamin E. It's actually like, it makes it really acidic and it can break you out quicker. And you'll wonder why. It's because the thickness of the vitamin E, along with that little alcohol acid, it really causes like a combustion in your skin that you never even knew. Okay, Taurus, you want a little ginger in your life. You need a little ginger in your life. This is literally like ginger. I call it like a ginger popsicle or a ginger beer, but in the form of a body wash. And I wanted something with a stronger, more pungent ginger smell. To cut that, okay, the lime. Again, we talked about the lime concoct with just the lime skin and the lemon skin. That's what match that with this. So you're starting to play around, and that's how Taurus came to be, because I really wanted something ginger infused. And to the point that I was about to put, let me tell you, this is the jams. This also is what allowed me to know that I don't have to have like cayenne pepper or some products that are warming will have peppers and stuff, or you come out the bathtub and you're real open. You don't want all of that, because you can actually catch a cold by having stuff that's too like vapor expectorant on your chest and your tongue. You don't want to do that. I'm sorry, I'm hiccuping. The Taurus, excellent. So let me see if I could just thing real quick. So these are the halts. We did lemonade. Rosemary's Babies up here. These are the halts. The halts are great. I mean, even if I ran it down, the cedarwood, the citronella, the cinnamon oil, the neem, the peppermint, the lemongrass, the lime, all of that's needed to make this smell the way that it does. And I didn't mind playing with all of that, because again, when you're not a factory and you are a person, you can play around and take your little pipettes. I have these little pipettes. Are they in here? I had a couple in the corner the other day, because I take them and squeeze an essential oil in my bathtub. But literally, they're just like little medicine droppers. And that's when I started playing around with marrying different essential oils and different herbs into them, because if you marry certain herbs with certain oils, they can create color change. It can make things really like gray looking and dark. Like, this is dope, but it looks like mud. Like, okay, how can I sell? How am I gonna? So, you know, you wanna find stuff that's also just visually inviting. Halt, bright color, excellent results. So we did the hair magic, okay? And now all of these, because I'm lotioning and touching my hair, when I'm making people's products, I literally sit there and rub the caps, rub the tops. I don't want my fingerprints to be on the top of the caps. That you can't teach to other people. Those types of details, I don't want to necessarily make someone feel bad if they don't do or they leave out. But those things mean the world to me, where, you know, they look untouched. Yeah, someone's made this, but not all their energy is like, you know. So I don't even know if you can see all this, not even that deep. So we talked about the cherry oil. We did rose clay. I don't think we did the rose clay and the banana face. So I'm gonna do them really quickly. The reason why these really work, and people probably would never, because of the aloe. We talked about that chucked aloe, not anything from a bottle or a jar. That chucked aloe makes everything amazing in our body and face washes. The rose clay alchemy, So good. 8 different, and you'll think, oh my God, there's jojoba and argan oil in my face wash, and I'm not oily after, and I'm not broken out. Yes, you are. And yes, it feels that good because you don't find things. Sometimes they have such stripping, like when it comes to like a witch hazel, my witch hazel even has argan, jojoba in it, because you don't want to just use witch hazel without a little carrier oil, or your skin is like extra stripped and extra bare. Not necessary. The banana peel that's infused in here gives it a texture and a scent that's so nice, but you'll start to see the results in a little while. Like, I've been using my products for a couple years now, for like 8 to 10 years, like straight, nothing else. And it's not until now that I'm, about a year ago, I started Banana Face Alchemy. This has only been out, this is the second year it's gonna be out. I didn't know about the healing properties, how it would work long term, using the banana skin and peel on my skin. But what it's done is it's created, it's a natural hyperpigmentation brightener. So I'm not gonna front. Being in the sun has been great, but I do use the SPF, and I have a lot of little freckles on my face. Nothing to be proud of because they're a little bit raised, and I didn't want them to get more raised. So in using the Banana Face Alchemy, I've noticed they become a little bit smoother. They're not as raised, and my skin, they're not as dark and obvious. They're little specks still, but they're not raised to like look like moles, and they're not spreading. I have a lot of little things on my legs, just little freckle spots, just little spots that I just wanted to make sure over time weren't going to spread, weren't going to, just start to change up on me. And when you live in the cold for a while and then come to someplace warm, you want to pay attention to how your skin is absorbing this vitamin C. But at the same token, I also stay out of this, like, I used to tan. The last 2 years, I tan, but a lot more consciously. So only for 15 minutes, not for 3 hours. Like, Selena, and again, when Amor was first born, I didn't have orders and products, so it was just cooking more with less and yoga. I had a lot more time on my hands to just, sit and answer emails or read while Amor was playing on the beach. I don't have any of that time. Literally the other day I said, I've lived on the beach and have not been on the water in how many, I've got to make it a point to go out and do that, because I'm getting these Miami folk where work is taking over and I don't really have the time. Yes, you do. You have to make the time. And this is what I'm striving to do. Make the time. Now I can go out and make dinner. This took an hour, but what I can yield in terms of feeling as though I'm connecting with you guys is great. And I think that you have to challenge yourself. Both my husband and I got very comfortable doing things behind the camera or not being seen, as just not to offend people or not to be too much. Coming from New York, in this community that people put us in, it really took years for us to not act like that was the worst thing people could do, but to separate yourself healthily and say, look, I know what people think I'm a part of, but I know I'm not a part of that, because that's not based in honesty and in truth and transparency. A lot of people can just look healthy, but kind of deal in griminess or wanting to take some. And coming from New York, there was a lot of us that were a lot more open, and people that felt to take would take. So I learned to kind of protect my energy and to say, well, what I do doesn't have the same result as what other people do. My yoga class. So in doing and being honest and taking myself out of things to see, I attract energy that's a little bit different, and not to be annoyed with that. But again, maybe if I was so focused on trying to prove my level of success, or, I'm here for the people, I would have been more apt to work hard for that storefront or to look like, but that might have taken production time behind away. I might have been more, oh, it's nice to meet everyone. And then I know when, people come into anything or yoga, most people will stay for 2-3 hours after the class is done, and I have to be like, oh, I have dinner plans, or I'm going out to lunch, or sometimes I would make an excuse and just be like, I've got to go, and I had 2 more hours to spare. But you've got to find ways to create boundaries and say, okay, if class was at 9 o'clock, there's no reason why I'm still in the yoga studio at 12 o'clock, just talking to people. Like, you gotta, so in that, those are great lessons, period. I learned how to do a lot of different things, but really, again, maybe these things aren't what everybody wants to feel they need to accomplish to create success. Because you can have success and not necessarily be seen all the time. You can sit in a bath and not feel as though you need to tape you bathing every day. You can work out or do yoga and still find joy in it being somewhat of a private practice or a time that you connect with your breath. If you're always giving, you might not have time to see where you can grow and you can develop, or where you're stagnant and tight. Same thing on the opposite end of that coin. If you are always behind the camera and stay very comfortable doing stuff and staying in your little, then you might not meet people that are like, wow, she's that dynamic and I might come, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can cut your own self off from your blessings by just kind of following suit with what society felt you should do. And I think for so many years, I wasn't aware that I'm actually am affected by maybe making people uncomfortable or talking about things that people want to constantly challenge. You don't need to just live that way. Live your life. And if people ask, oh, hey, how is it 20 years not eating meat? Then you can be an example and express and share. But, it's okay to find a balance outside of constantly posting and doing stuff. It's just, you also want to stay of the people and for the people. So there's a part of me that's just trying to find that balance of sharing more and answering more questions, but also not expecting subscriptions and not asking for that. Like, I just ask for health, truth, no guile around me, positive energy, people that want to help me get better at anything in life and vice versa. And, not any energy that's like, hey, I'm here to support, but in the meantime, I'll tear you down and ask you why you do this and remind you shouldn't do that like that. And, I'm so grateful that I haven't had any of that energy around me in about a decade now. And it was something that I consciously had to create and be aware of. Like, it's okay to not have someone over at my house for dinner for 10 years. I want people in my house every weekend, but I experienced that in New York, and now that I'm in Miami, it's just a nice neutralizer because I don't know anybody that might even feel comfortable to come to my home and eat like that. So again, everything is in due time, and I hope that this year just brings us all closer to our dreams and closer to our health and to all the things that we hope to manifest. And for me as well, learning how to take time to sleep more than 4 hours, or to try to create a better sleep cycle, or to say, hey, I'm good on 4 hours and then a 2-hour nap, but what might I feel like if I just get 6 hours straight? How might I feel if I, take a bath every night before I go to bed for at least a month? How do I do 30 days of yoga and get orders out and not make an excuse as to, oh, well, I'm tired from staying up till 4. Like, no, none of that. And it's great because you go through things and you learn what's valuable to you and what really you're not willing to let go of. And even though I've done certain things consistently, I can honestly say that turning down the volume to discover and to figure out how to take care of my family and myself was a commitment that definitely needed 8 to 10 plus years of consistent energy. But now that I'm reaching that 10-year climax, that 10-year point, I want to challenge myself to say, I want to do stuff the way that I did back in the day, and be able to make time to make burgers on camera or do anything. But everything happens for a reason, and just be grateful that I didn't entertain energy just because everyone else was doing it and it was popular. Everyone thought that this person was cool and had something. That's great if you think certain people are, wise and contributory. But for me, growing up in Brooklyn, I also saw things as I see this person acting wise and contributory, but there's an energy that feels very grimy, very untrustworthy, very pimp-like, very lying, very duplicitous, and I need to listen to that too. And I'm grateful that I did, because I never ended up following suit or feeling as though I supported something that innately felt wrong. So again, listen to your guts, enjoy life. CordobaOrganics.com. I'm going to try to do a live. We'll do something later after I make some dinner. But I'll see you guys this week, and much love. Peace.